Welcome to episode 5 of Junk Food on the Road, where we are talking today about Belgium. What do you think, Chris?
It's been a while since we've been in Belgium.
Yeah.
But we've been twice, haven't we?
Yeah, at least twice. I've been at least 3 times.
Yeah, I think I've been twice.
But, I mean, you think of Belgium, you think of junk food, you think of chocolate, and you think of waffles.
French fries.
So, yeah, I guess that's junk food, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
It's actually the home of French fries.
It's where they were invented.
Yeah, and they're double fried there.
Yes, they are. And they have these crazy sauces on French fries, too.
Oh, do they?
They have this one called Americano, which I've never seen in the United States in my life. It's sort of like a red... It's like French dressing mixed with mayonnaise.
That sounds good.
It's okay. It's not great. I mean, but the classic thing to get in Belgian French fries is, of course, mayonnaise.
Well, of course.
Ketchup isn't that common there, but I think you can get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Mayonnaise is so good on French fries, though.
Mayonnaise is pretty good, but, you know, I like the variety of stuff. I actually like tartar sauce on my French fries.
Tartar sauce is pretty good.
Yeah.
Aioli's pretty good.
Yeah, a little bit of garlic. I think they had garlic, like aiolis and stuff. Yeah, like garlic mayonnaises and stuff when I was in Belgium. I remember there being sort of, that was sort of a common thing. And you'd find 2 different kinds of French fry stands in Belgium. You'd find sort of the little hole-in-the-wall one and then the touristy one. And both were pretty much okay. But I found that the touristy ones tend to look a little bit cleaner. But the hole-in-the-wall ones seem to have, like, a lot of French fries. Like, they would have these big baskets, like, full of French fries. And I would always find that interesting.
And the big thing, of course, is mussels and French fries. That's like your sort of classic Belgian dinner out.
What's that in French again?
Moules frites.
Moules frites. I don't like...
Mussels?
Mussels. So, I mean, I have had them a couple times. I don't, like...
I've had steak and frite.
That's pretty common. That's a very sort of steak restaurant thing, isn't it?
It's kind of, yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know where that comes from, though. I don't know if that's...
Well, I think I just had the fries because it was in Belgium.
Okay. So the other thing, I mean, if we want to talk sort of, I'd say the next level of thing would be the waffles.
The waffles are amazing.
They are. They're different. I mean, everybody just sort of thinks a waffle is a waffle is a waffle, but...
Oh, Belgian waffles are special.
Why do you think they're different?
Well, I mean, first of all, most waffles, it's a batter. But Belgian waffles are made with a dough.
Yeah, it's a yeast. I think it's a yeast leavening as opposed to a baking powder leavening. Because in most batters you use baking powder, but I think in these they use a yeast.
Really?
Yeah.
I just know that when they put it on the waffle iron, it's like a big sort of pancake of dough. It's not runny whatsoever, and there's just something sort of sweet and crispy and satisfying as well. Like they're dense, but they've got this sort of crispy sweet outside that just tastes so good, and the toppings are amazing.
I think crispy is actually the thing that I would say is I mean, there's a sweet, because I think they put sugar sometimes on the outside when they're cooking them. But I think the thing that really makes them unique, and the thing that I love about them, is that there is a different texture from the inside than the outside. I mean, I know regular waffles have a bit of a different texture, but
the regular waffles are a lot fluffier. I find that Belgian waffles are so much denser. The density, to me, the defining factor is the density.
To me, it's the crunchiness of the difference between the 2 textures. But both are there. I mean, definitely both are there. So I think, and you're definitely right. The toppings are. I mean, the toppings. The one thing I actually like about Belgian waffles is the toppings aren't stupid. Like, I've gone to waffle places, and particularly in North America and other Western places, and often it's like, you know, ridiculous things and like marshmallows and all kinds of crazy stuff. But Belgians have like high quality stuff, but it's generally whipped cream and chocolate.
Basically. I don't think I've ever gotten anything but chocolate sauce on a Belgian waffle. Because it's so perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gotten whipped cream on them.
Sure, whipped cream is fine, but I'm okay with whipped cream and chocolate sauce.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. I wouldn't...
Speaking of chocolate sauce...
Yes.
There is that commercially available chocolate sauce that's we've only ever found in Belgium.
I'm pretty sure it's only available in Belgium. That's Noir de Noir.
Noir de Noir, Black of Black.
By Côte d'Or.
Yeah, it's so good.
Côte d'Or is a Belgian chocolate company.
Yeah, their chocolate bars are available in other places, but I've never seen that black on black sauce.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably my favorite Belgian thing, and I mean, we even get to the point where anybody, if we have anybody who's coming from Belgium, and they're like, can we bring you anything? It's like Noir de Noir.
And sometimes people bring it to us by surprise.
Yes, we have had a few occasions.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. I mean,
it's a great surprise.
But the thing about Côte d'Or, actually, if you think about it, it gives you a really good example of sort of the quality of chocolate in Belgium. I mean, to me, Belgium is the best place to get chocolate. We visited Switzerland sort of briefly, and it was okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But Belgium has something a little bit different, and Côte d'Or is a great example of why it's different, in that Côte d'Or chocolate bars, if anywhere else in the world, are sort of in the specialty aisle, generally more expensive. But when you go to Belgium, that's just a chocolate bar.
Oh, it's run of the mill.
Yeah, it's like
all of the commercially produced ones are kind of like, why would you eat that?
A little bit. I think people do recognize that Côte d'Or chocolate is good.
I think the two big commercially available ones in Europe, there's Neufeld is the Belgian chocolatier that sort of has the name recognition, but Godiva.
Yeah, Godiva's. There was.
And then there's Gillian as well.
Yeah, there are definitely a few Belgian chocolate companies that are sort of internationally known. I think Côte d'Or is sort of the commercial one in Belgium. You don't really see Gillian around, like, in stores.
But you see Neufeld everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. But they also make good stuff,
like
too.
At the airport. Like, they make good stuff, but the best chocolates are, like, the little tiny artisanal chocolate shops.
Yeah. Well, you had one in particular that was near the hotel we were staying in.
Yeah, in Berlaymont, in Brussels.
Yeah.
So good.
I was a really big fan. What was the name of that one? Mary.
Mary's.
I really liked Mary.
It was on the main square in Brussels, right?
No, it was in Le Roi. What is it? The Royal? It's like an alleyway called like Le Roi de something.
I don't know. You got to wander around Brussels while I went to work.
Yeah. So that was I really enjoyed that. For one thing, the employees knew what they were talking about, and it was all just the one thing. I mean, you can sort of nitpick about what's the best Brussels sort of Belgian chocolate. I mean, we had good chocolate everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Even
you can't go wrong in the little chocolate shops.
The only thing I would say to avoid is if it's shaped like the little mannequin piss statue, probably avoid that because that's not great. But I'll be honest, even the cheaper chocolates we got in boxes were fantastic.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, you really can't go wrong. The one piece of advice I would tell anybody going to Belgium, going to any part of Belgium, be it Brussels or anywhere else, is really try a lot. Don't get suckered into buying a lot of chocolate at the first place.
And eat waffles.
And yeah, well, eat waffles, but go into the shops. The one thing you can do, some shops offer samples, but all shops will sell you like one chocolate if you want.
Do you remember our very first Belgian chocolate? It was in Namur.
Yeah.
It was when we were on that road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we were only in Belgium for like one night. But we went out for a walk and we found a little corner chocolate shop and we got, I think, 4 chocolates.
Yeah.
Of different types. And we cut them all in half and each had half of one. And it was my very first Belgian chocolate. And it was the most amazing chocolate experience I think I've ever had. I mean, I've had better Belgian chocolate since then. Not much, though, because it's all really good. But it was just having the freshly made pralined Belgian chocolate for the very first time was just something I'm never going to forget.
I guess what I'm saying is when you buy Belgian chocolate, and your argument sort of agrees with that, don't buy a box. Start off buying little bits here and there. Try them out. Go to different stores. Keep track of where the stores are. Go back later if you want to bring something home. The one thing about bringing Belgian chocolate home, though, expiration dates. Keep those in mind. Don't buy like 5 cases because it will go bad.
Thank God, don't put it in the freezer.
Don't put it in the freezer. But also, they're very serious about expiration dates there. I mean, you're talking a week or 2 tops for your average sort of Belgian chocolate, because they're using, they're not using fillers, they're not using anything to make this chocolate last. The idea is it's all about the taste and everything like that. So they're really expecting you to eat it same day or very close to it. I guess if you're bringing stuff home for friends and it might have to last, go with the cheaper stuff because it might last a little bit longer. But
yeah, like sort of the commercially sealed stuff.
Exactly, but if you're gonna,
it's still gonna be good.
If you're gonna, yeah. But if you're going to buy the good stuff, keep in mind that you only have a week or so. If you're traveling other places in Europe afterwards, just don't bother bringing it home. And don't ship it home, because by the time you get home, potentially it's not going to be the quality that you want. And, there's no way of protecting it really, because you're not supposed to store chocolate in refrigerators because it takes on every flavor. And the same with the freezer. It just takes on every flavor, everything around it. So that's one thing for sure, is eat it there, enjoy it, small amounts, try every store you can stop in and buy like 1 or 2 chocolates, and that's the way to go, I think.
Okay, so we've talked about chocolate, we've talked about noir de noir, we've talked about French fries, or Belgian fries, and we've talked about waffles.
Yep.
Let's talk about the one other unique Belgian junk food experience, and that is speculoos paste.
I don't think that's just Belgian.
I think it's pretty Belgian.
Is it? I mean,
I've never seen it anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we saw some in Poland once.
Maybe, but I mean, it was definitely my very first experience with speculoos paste was in Belgium, and people I know who have lived in Belgium have become obsessed with this, but nowhere else.
Can you explain what speculoos paste is then?
Well, it depends on whether or not people know what speculoos is.
Okay.
Speculoos are cookies that are ginger flavored cookies.
Kind of like if you had to relate it to something North American, a ginger snap cookie.
They're you can get them anywhere in Europe, really. It's like it's especially a Christmas treat, but you can find speculoos cookies generally anywhere.
Yeah.
So what they've done, I guess, in Belgium is take the speculoos thing.
Cookie.
I don't know if it's actually made of cookies or if it just tastes like the cookies, but it's basically speculoos cookies in a peanut butter form. So it's like it's a paste. It's like a peanut butter, but it's not peanuts, it's speculoos.
It looks like peanut butter.
It looks like peanut butter. You think it's going to be peanut butter.
It tastes like cookies.
And it tastes like speculoos cookies. And I don't know how they make it, but it's I think it might be, some people love it right off the bat, and for some people I think it might be an acquired taste, and for some people I think they're just too freaked out by it that they never learn to like it.
I don't mind it. I've tried it. I've had it a few times. The one thing I could never figure out is what you're actually supposed to do with it.
I've seen it on breakfast buffets with like the jams and the peanut butters, so my guess is that you're supposed to put it on toast or bread.
That seems weird, to spread cookies on toast.
Cookie paste.
Because, I mean, to be, ironic and silly, I, of course, spread it on speculoos cookies. So it is like meta speculoos. But that's the one. I mean, I guess you put it on toast, but it might make like a good icing. It might be interesting on like a carrot cake.
Carrot cake. Yeah, chocolate cake. Yum.
Okay, well, but I think it might work.
Brownies.
Maybe brownies. It's a weird. It is. I would say it's one of the weirdest things. And again, I'm not sure if it's Belgian, but you definitely find it in Belgium. But yeah, that would definitely be one of the weirdest things I can remember there. I forgot. It's like I definitely remember speculoos spread, but I didn't remember it being Belgian. But you're definitely right. Belgian is it's funny because, sort of to summarize everything, Belgian flavors are very friendly to the North American palate.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, if you think about all the foods, the weirdest thing we tried there is definitely the speculoos spread, and even that is fairly friendly to the North American palate. You might find it weird if you ate the cookie and then tried the paste, because you wouldn't really. It kind of blows your mind a little bit, but that's the one thing about Belgium that's really good, is if anybody's ever planning to travel there from North America and you're a foodie, you are going to be happy, because you're not going to have anything that weird to overcome.
Except maybe speculoos paste.
Maybe, but
But try it.
Yeah.
I mean, you might like it. It's it's worth a try. But I would say that the take-home thing from Belgium is the Noir de Noir chocolate sauce. And I would say that the first thing that I want to do when I get off the plane, when I go to Belgium, is get a waffle with chocolate sauce.
Yeah. Although I've never tried Noir de Noir on a waffle.
Ooh, you might have.
Maybe, but not that I remember. Would you say Noir de Noir is better than Nutella?
Oh, that's really hard. I would want to say I would pick Noir de Noir over Nutella, but that's just because Nutella is everywhere, and Noir de Noir is just really hard to get. We've never seen it anywhere but Belgium. So, were they as available? If Noir de Noir were as readily available as Nutella, I don't know which one I would go for. I think I would like them both.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be equal, but because it's just sort of the holy grail of sauces that is just so hard to find, I would always pick the Noir de Noir over the Nutella because of that, but just because I know I can have Nutella anytime I want.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. So, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that about covers. I mean, there's good food in Belgium in generally.
Yeah, and Brussels is the capital city, and there's that street with all of the restaurants. That's really, really fun. It's just off the main market square, which is beautiful around Christmas, by the way. And it's just fun to when the first time I went there, we played a little game. I was with some colleagues, and the one who lived in Belgium said that they always try and get you into the restaurants, and so we came up with a code word. And the first one who said the code word, first one of the touts, we would pick that restaurant. And we got to the end of the street, and none of them used the code word, so we just sort of randomly went back and picked one. But it's kind of fun it's a kind of fun experience where it's just restaurant after restaurant after restaurant.
Yeah, there's definitely no shortage of restaurants in Belgium, and again, they're all fairly friendly to the Western palate. You're never going to find anything too weird. Like, you're going to find a lot of steak restaurants. You're going to find a lot of sort of French-style bakeries. You're going to find a lot of stuff like that.
And a lot of chocolate shops.
Well, yeah, chocolate shops are absolutely ridiculous.
In the sort of main areas. I mean, it's a little harder to find when you get a little farther from the center of town. But
yeah, and in the smaller towns particularly. Basically, if you want to find chocolate shops just go to the main square.
Whatever the main square
Whatever the main square is, whatever town or city you're in is going to have zillions of chocolate shops, so that's pretty much the way to go.
Yeah, and waffle stands.
Waffles. Well, looking for chocolate shops, you will pass waffle and French fry stands. That's how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
I think that about wraps it up.
I think it does.
So, if anybody's listening to this, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
Exactly. I'm just going to say, just remember, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at Candy Critic. Or if you want to follow any of our other social media, you can go to candycritic.org and you'll find links to all our social media there. We'll be posting another episode of Junk Food on the Road next month. I'm not sure what we're doing next month.
I think Germany.
Probably Germany. Another chocolate destination. How interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next month.
Bye. Bye.